Bonjour et bienvenue à toutes et à tous. Je suis ravi que vous ayez pu vous joindre à nous pour souhaiter officiellement une chaleureuse bienvenue à notre distinguée nouvelle collègue, Madame la juge Michelle O'Bonsawin. Nous avons l'honneur d'avoir avec nous aujourd'hui Maître Gary Anandansangari, secrétaire parlementaire du ministre de la Justice et procureur général du Canada, the Honourable Doug Downey, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Ontario, Maître Steve Bugeaud, président de l'Association du barreau canadien, Miss Jacqueline Horvat, Treasurer of the Law Society of Ontario, Miss Jill Perry, President of the Federation of Law Societies of Canada, and Mr. Peter Krywaruk, President of the Advocates Society. Je souhaite en outre la bienvenue aux juges à la retraite de la Cour, aux nombreux juges en chef, distingués membres de la magistrature et invités qui sont ici avec nous, ainsi qu'aux membres du public de partout au pays qui suivent la cérémonie à distance en web diffusion. Et enfin, je tiens à souhaiter la bienvenue à la famille et aux amis de la juge O'Bonsawin, tout spécialement à son époux, Maître Pierre Robichaud, et à leurs fils, Tristan et Yannick. Madame la registraire, je vous inviterai maintenant à lire la commission sous le Grand Sceau du Canada dans les 2 langues officielles, attestant la nomination de l'honorable juge O'Bonsawin à titre de juge puné de la Cour suprême du Canada.
Monsieur le juge en chef, Mesdames et Messieurs les juges de la Cour, Canada, Charles III, par la grâce de Dieu, roi du Royaume-Uni du Canada et de ses autres royaumes et territoires, chef du Commonwealth et défenseur de la foi, à l'honorable Michelle O'Bonsawin, juge de la Cour supérieure de justice de l'Ontario. Salut. En raison de notre confiance particulière en votre loyauté, en votre intégrité et en vos capacités, nous, sur et avec l'avis de notre Conseil privé pour le Canada, vous constituons et nommons vous, Michelle O'Bonsawin, juge de la Cour suprême du Canada. À titre de juge de la Cour suprême du Canada, vous, Michelle O'Bonsawin, jouirez désormais à titre inamovible de tous les pouvoirs, droits, prérogatives, bénéfices, émoluments et avantages attachés de droit et de par la loi à cette charge, à compter du 1er jour de septembre de l'an de grâce 2022. En foi de quoi nous avons fait délivrer nos présentes lettres patentes et y avons fait apposer le Grand Sceau du Canada. Témoin. Notre très fidèle et bien-aimée Mary May Simon, chancelière et compagnon principal de notre Ordre du Canada, chancelière et commandeur de notre Ordre du Mérite militaire, chancelière et commandeur de notre Ordre du Mérite des corps policiers, gouverneur général et commandante en chef du Canada. À notre hôtel du gouvernement, en notre ville d'Ottawa, ce deuxième jour de novembre de l'an de grâce 2022, première de notre règne. Par ordre, registraire général du Canada et procureur général du Canada. Canada, Charles III, by the grace of God of the United Kingdom, Canada, and his other realms and territories, King, head of the Commonwealth, defender of the faith. To the Honourable Michelle O'Bonsawin, a judge of the Superior Court of Justice of Ontario. Greeting. Know you that reposing special trust and confidence in your loyalty, integrity, and ability, we, by and with the advice of our Privy Council for Canada, do hereby constitute and appoint you, Michelle O'Bonsawin, a puisné judge of the Supreme Court of Canada, to have, hold, exercise, and enjoy the office of a puisné judge of the Supreme Court of Canada unto you, Michelle O'Bonsawin, with all the powers, rights, authority, privileges, profits, emolument, and advantages unto that office of right and by law appertaining during your good behavior, effective the first day of September in the year of our Lord, 2022. In testimony whereof we have caused these our letters to be made patent, and the Great Seal of Canada to be hereunto affixed. Witness. Our right trustee and well-beloved Mary May Simon, Chancellor and Principal Companion of our Order of Canada, Chancellor and Commander of our Order of Military Merit, Chancellor and Commander of our Order of Merit of the Police Forces, Governor General and Commander-in-Chief of Canada. At our Government House in our city of Ottawa, the 2nd day of November in the year of our Lord 2022 and in the first year of our reign. By command, Registrar General of Canada and Attorney General of Canada.
Merci bien. Alors, j'inviterai maintenant la juge O'Bonsawin à se joindre à l'enregistraire et à signer le registre des cérémonies. Merci. Alors, Madame la juge O'Bonsawin, je vous inviterai maintenant à prendre place sur votre siège au sein de la formation de la Cour suprême du Canada. Cette cérémonie d'accueil est la 4e que j'ai l'honneur et le plaisir de présider. Cette fois-ci, afin de souhaiter la bienvenue à une nouvelle amie et collègue, la juge O'Bonsawin. J'espère que la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui saura traduire toute la chaleur avec laquelle la Cour a accueilli la juge O'Bonsawin dans ses rangs. Sa venue contribue à faire en sorte que les institutions de notre pays, notamment la Cour suprême du Canada, reflètent encore davantage la population canadienne. De fait, la nomination de la juge O'Bonsawin à la Cour suprême marque une autre étape importante vers la réconciliation, une démarche à laquelle la Cour contribue depuis déjà très longtemps, depuis presque 50 ans, en fait. Durant cette période, la Cour a rendu de nombreuses décisions qui ont permis d'éclairer d'importantes questions concernant les Autochtones. Et lorsque le dossier le permettra, je n'ai aucun doute que la juge O'Bonsawin apportera une précieuse contribution aux travaux de la Cour portant sur ces questions. La culture, le vécu et l'expertise juridique de chaque membre de la Cour apportent quelque chose d'unique à cette institution historique, qui évolue constamment afin de répondre aux besoins changeants de notre société moderne. La cérémonie d'aujourd'hui nous offre également l'occasion de célébrer la diversité qui caractérise notre vaste pays, diversité qui est de plus en plus représentée au sein de notre magistrature. Cela renforce notamment la confiance du public dans le système de justice. Par ailleurs, dès son arrivée, la juge O'Bonsawin a eu l'occasion de participer à une autre démarche de la Cour, visant à renforcer cette confiance qui m'est si chère, alors que nous nous sommes déplacés à Québec afin d'y entendre 2 appels. Ce n'était que la 2e fois de son histoire que la Cour suprême entendait des affaires à l'extérieur d'Ottawa, après Winnipeg en 2019. Nous avons donc invité le public à assister aux audiences de la Cour à Québec. En plus de ces audiences, un événement public a permis aux gens de nous poser des questions sur notre travail en tant que juge. Chaque juge a aussi pris le temps de se rendre dans une école secondaire différente afin de s'entretenir avec les étudiants. Justice O'Bonsawin hit the ground running. She was an enthusiastic participant in the Quebec City visit, and I could feel her excitement in meeting the crowd. I could also feel their excitement in return. They were as delighted as we were to get to know her better. Taking the court outside Ottawa was a valuable opportunity to explain its role in the Canadian justice system and our democracy. I could quickly see during our visit to Quebec City that Justin Obansawin and I share the same passion for open courts, access to justice, and education. Indeed, her many pro bono and volunteer activities speak to her generosity in helping others. As a judge, she has volunteered her time with a number of judicial organizations. For example, she has recently been a partner judge for Afghanistan women judges through the International Association of Women Judges. She has also been a member of the Ontario Superior Court's Indigenous Issues Committee, as well as the Superior Court's Diversity and Inclusion Committee. Même avant d'accéder à la magistrature, la juge Obansawin a participé activement à des programmes de mentorat de l'Université d'Ottawa et de l'Association du barreau canadien, tant auprès des étudiants et étudiantes que des avocats et avocates. Sa participation à des programmes de mentorat est assurément une façon pour elle de faire profiter autrui des précieux conseils qu'elle a elle-même reçus tout au long de sa carrière. Dans une entrevue qu'elle accordait il y a quelques années à Juryvision, elle parlait de l'adaptation qu'avait nécessité sa première année à la magistrature. Elle évoquait la chance qu'elle avait eue de pouvoir compter sur un juge expérimenté de la Cour supérieure pour l'aider dans cette importante transition entre la pratique du droit et l'exercice des fonctions de juge. Alors qu'elle pratiquait le droit, la juge Obansawin a été à même d'acquérir une riche expertise dans les domaines de la santé mentale, du droit du travail et de l'emploi. Elle a d'ailleurs amorcé sa carrière au sein de la Société canadienne des postes, où elle a été appelée à traiter de questions diverses en matière de droit, du travail et d'emploi. Lorsqu'elle repense aux années qu'elle y a passées, elle se dit reconnaissante d'avoir eu la possibilité de voyager d'un bout à l'autre du pays et d'avoir pu ainsi mieux comprendre les liens qui nous unissent en tant que Canadiens et Canadiennes. Cette expérience l'a ensuite conduite auprès du groupe des services de santé Royal Ottawa, où elle a été chargée de mettre sur pied le service juridique de cet organisme. C'est dans ce rôle qu'elle a acquis de l'expertise en droit de la santé mentale. C'est également durant cette période qu'elle a eu l'occasion de comparaître devant le Tribunal des droits de la personne de l'Ontario, la Commission du consentement et de la capacité, la Commission ontarienne d'examen, la Cour de justice de l'Ontario, la Cour supérieure de justice de l'Ontario et la Cour d'appel de l'Ontario. Par la suite, sa nomination à la Cour supérieure de justice de l'Ontario en 2017 lui a notamment permis d'acquérir une expérience pertinente en matière criminelle, en droit de la famille et en protection de l'enfance. Since her arrival at the Supreme Court, Justice Obansawin has impressed upon everyone her generosity and collegiality. She is also a lifelong learner. After graduating from high school, Justice Obansawin undertook a Bachelor of Arts at Laurentian University. She then attended the University of Ottawa's French Common Law program. During her studies, she volunteered in the Legal Aid Clinic in Indigenous Services, and she was a member of the Indigenous Students Association. She was admitted to the Ontario Bar in 2000. Her next academic undertaking was a Master of Laws with a specialization in mental health law while working full-time as General Counsel at the Royal Ottawa. Later, Justice Obansawin found the time to pursue a PhD, which she successfully defended last December while she was a sitting judge. Michelle, you must be running out of degrees to take on. La juge Obansawin valorise également la sensibilisation du public. Elle a prononcé des discours, à la fois en français et en anglais, sur la santé mentale, les principes de l'arrêt de l'adieu, le droit autochtone, l'inclusion et la diversité, et l'accès à la justice notamment. Pendant la pandémie, la juge Obansawin a également commencé à apprendre l'Abénaki, la langue de la Première Nation d'Odanak. Les personnes qui ont assisté à la séance de questions et réponses du comité parlementaire ont grandement apprécié le fait qu'elle ait prononcé quelques mots dans cette langue. Elles ont parlé de l'espoir et de l'enthousiasme que suscite sa nomination. Permettez-moi de m'arrêter ici un instant pour mentionner en passant que cette séance de questions et réponses faisait partie du processus de sélection mené par le Commissariat à la magistrature fédérale du Canada, un processus qui se veut ouvert, indépendant et transparent. Un tel processus ne peut que renforcer encore davantage la confiance du public dans le système de justice. Michel, you mentioned during the Parliamentary Committee's question and answer session that a high school guidance teacher once told you that a legal career would be out of your reach. You responded, "You just watch me." I hope your story of persisting in the face of doubt will encourage students listening to today's ceremony to follow their dreams also. And like you, I hope they put their talents towards helping others and making this great country even better for everyone. En mon nom et au nom de tous mes collègues, je vous félicite à nouveau, Madame la juge Obansawin. Nous sommes impatients de travailler avec vous et de compter sur votre amitié. Permettez-moi de réitérer mes meilleurs vœux à Pierre, à Tristan et à Yannick, qui ont sans doute déjà compris à quel point le travail de la Cour est exigeant. Je tiens à les remercier, tout particulièrement pour leur soutien, le soutien qu'ils vous apporteront et qu'ils témoigneront à la Cour suprême dans les semaines et les années à venir. En notre nom à toutes et à tous, je vous souhaite la bienvenue à la Cour suprême du Canada. Merci. Je vais maintenant demander au secrétaire parlementaire du ministre de la Justice et procureur général du Canada, Maître Gary Anandatsan Gary, de prononcer quelques mots.
Good morning. Chief Justice Wagner, Justices, distinguished guests. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we're gathered on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe peoples. C'est un privilège de me joindre à vous afin d'accueillir officiellement l'honorable Michel Obansawin à la Cour suprême du Canada. Il s'agit d'un grand moment tant pour le juge Obansawin, sa famille et ses proches, que pour la Cour suprême et l'ensemble de la population canadienne. We sometimes speak about the Supreme Court as sitting at the very top of the pyramid of Canada's judicial system. Provincial and territorial courts, superior courts, courts of appeal, all feed into this, our final General Court of Appeal, the pinnacle of the judicial branch of our government. This is where historic decisions are made that affect not only the lives of individual litigants, but Canada's legal fabric as a whole. Here, we rely on a handful of trusted voices to reflect the incredible diversity of our country, to serve Canadians from all walks of life with wisdom and compassion, and to ensure that justice always prevails. Today, we're here to welcome the Honorable Michel Obansawin to this esteemed court. She will help guide the evolution of Canada's laws with a deep commitment to fairness, inclusion, and the rule of law. Justice Obansawin's appointment has generated a great deal of excitement right across the country, and for good reason. She brings tremendous expertise in mental health law. She's fluent in both English and French, and she's studying her Indigenous Abenaki language. She completed her doctorate while working full-time as a judge at the Superior Court of Justice of Ontario. This speaks to her very nature, her willingness to work hard and follow through no matter what. She also made history as the first Indigenous jurist to be appointed to the Supreme Court of Canada. Justice Obansawin is a thoughtful and insightful judge who brings a deep commitment to service and to the importance of an inclusive and compassionate legal system. Her unique voice will add richness to this court. Madam Justice Obansawin, throughout your career, you have sought fairness for people from all walks of life. This drive to ensure that all people are treated fairly is rooted in your own journey. You have been candid about the complex intersectional issues you've faced and how they have shaped you, your identity as a woman, an Indigenous person, a mother, a Francophone, a rural Ontarian. We admire you for that openness and for the way you have woven all of these lived experiences into your career. Ces expériences ont visiblement influencé votre travail en tant qu'intellectuel, avocat et juge. Elles vous seront utiles alors que vous prenez place à la magistrature du plus haut tribunal de notre pays. To borrow the words of former Supreme Court Justice Rosalie Abella, as she was reflecting on the many opportunities she accepted throughout her career, and I quote, "I didn't spend a second thinking about whether these would lead me to a seat on the Supreme Court of Canada, because I knew they wouldn't. And yet, here I am. And today, Madam Justice Abansawin, here you are. I expect that you will continue to be a trailblazer with the same determination you have shown as a judge with the Superior Court of Justice of Ontario, as well as courtrooms and classrooms over the years. Dans ces rôles, vous contribuerez à façonner notre système de justice pour l'avenir, en plaçant les personnes au centre de nos réponses et ne laissant personne derrière. Madam Justice Abansawin, on behalf of the Honourable David Lametti, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Canada, I would like to congratulate you on your appointment and offer my best wishes to you and to your family as you take up the duties of this distinguished office. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.
Merci, Maître. I will now invite Mr. Doug Downey, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Ontario, to address the Court.
Good morning, and thank you, Chief Justice Wagner and Justice Abansawin, Ontario's Associate Chief of the Court of Appeal, Justice Fairbairn, the Honourable Gary Anandasingiri, Presidents, Treasurer, friends and colleagues, but most importantly, the family of Justice Abansawin. Welcome. And thank you for the opportunity to provide congratulations on behalf of all Ontarians. Today is an inspiring and proud moment as we all come together to mark a prestigious day in Ontario and our nation. As others before me have said so eloquently, this is a momentous day for this country and for this court. The renewal and evolution of our country's highest court is important for every Canadian and each of the provinces and territories we call home, and it's cause for celebration. The Supreme Court of Canada holds a vital and especially responsible place in our nation, and the decisions made here affect the lives of all Canadians every day. We all, as elected officials, public servants, advocates, citizens, we look to the Supreme Court of Canada to uphold the values and principles that we consider fundamental in our lives: fairness, integrity, compassion, balance. And as my fellow speakers have illustrated, and as you have demonstrated in your honourable service as a Justice of the Superior Court of Ontario, Justice Abansawin possesses the skills needed to serve the court in this time of transformation. Your experience, standard of excellence, and dedication to making our society better serve as the best possible testament to your addition to the Supreme Court of Canada. It is also heartening that you come from the middle of Ontario. Some think Hanmer is in the north, but some of us know it is in fact in the middle of the map of Ontario. And that's where you developed your grit and determination, and a unique perspective on the challenges that face our nation. You have my assurance that the province of Ontario will continue to contribute to the pride and confidence so many have in the court and in our legal system alongside you. Here in Ontario, we've made and continue to make unprecedented investments across the justice sector, moving quickly to modernize the system, make it one that's even more accessible. We're breaking down barriers, increasing access to the legal system through critical investments, whether it be justice centres or reliable internet in each of the 29 fly-in communities that Ontario serves, expanding French language services, changing civil rules, updating estate procedures that haven't been touched in decades. Our communities have waited long enough. The justice system must be accessible and responsible to all people. And as we face new and enduring challenges, I'm confident in our collective ability to improve the justice system. And I believe the addition of Justice Abansawin to the Supreme Court of Canada is, in addition to many things, a further investment in the modernization of our court system. Being closely acquainted with the privilege and complexities of selecting judiciary, I'd also like to congratulate Honourable David Lametti and his government's remarkable choice. I thank you for this opportunity to be with you and to share in the celebration of Justice Abansawin's ongoing contributions to our country, to the law, and their continuing renewal. It's a wonderful day for this country and here in the province of Ontario. On behalf of the Premier of Ontario and our province, please accept my heartfelt congratulations, Justice Abansawin. Thank you. Merci, Miigwech.
Thank you, Minister. Maintenant, je cède la parole à Maître Bugeaud, président de l'Association du barreau canadien. Maître Bugeaud.
Monsieur le juge en chef du Canada, membre de la Cour, Monsieur le secrétaire parlementaire du ministre de la Justice du Canada, Monsieur le ministre de la Justice de l'Ontario, membres distingués de la magistrature, chers consoeurs, chers confrères, distingués invités, c'est un grand privilège d'être ici en ce jour pour vous rendre hommage, Madame la juge Obonsawin. Au nom des 37 000 membres de l'Association du barreau canadien, félicitations pour votre nomination à la Cour suprême du Canada. When hearing the news of your nomination, Brad Regier, the first Indigenous president of our association, said, "My heart is bursting with joy." Brad is here with us today. And I can assure you, his sentiments are felt by everyone in this room. Le chemin que vous avez parcouru vous a mené aujourd'hui à la Cour suprême du Canada. Votre nom en langue abénaki signifie « Pathfinder », éclaireur en français, un nom prédestiné pour la première juge autochtone à siéger au plus haut tribunal de notre pays. Madame Justice, your historic appointment marks one of many accomplishments over the course of your career. Your vast experience in the areas of mental health, Gladue principles, human rights, as well as labor and privacy law will serve this court immensely. Your expertise, along with your determination, curiosity, and frank authenticity, will make you a strong and effective arbiter of truth and justice. Dans votre nouveau rôle, vous continuerez à être un modèle d'inspiration pour tous les Canadiens, y incluant les membres des Premières Nations et particulièrement pour les jeunes juristes autochtones. J'ai pu constater personnellement votre influence positive auprès de toute une génération de jeunes juristes lors de l'Assemblée annuelle de l'Association du barreau autochtone, qui se tenait le mois dernier à Montréal. Votre nomination est un message sans équivoque à leur égard. Vos ambitions et vos rêves sont réalisables. As you have mentioned yourself, Madam Justice, growing up as Indigenous and Franco-Ontarian in a small community brought its fair share of personal challenges, including experience of discrimination and racism. Your impressive and impactful career is a testament to your dedication to creating a just and fair society for all, and our country is better for it. Nous savons que la voie vers la réconciliation avec les peuples autochtones est longue. Il est essentiel pour tous les Canadiens d'approfondir notre compréhension de l'histoire, des langues, des cultures et des traditions juridiques des peuples autochtones qui vivent sur ces terres depuis des temps immémoriaux. Et en tant que communauté juridique, nous devons reconnaître notre propre responsabilité dans la marche vers la réconciliation. Après tout, les ordres juridiques autochtones étaient présents ici, bien avant que la colonisation n'impose les systèmes juridiques occidentaux. En tant que juge de la Cour suprême du Canada, je suis certain que vous jouerez un rôle essentiel dans la revitalisation des traditions juridiques autochtones qui ont été mises à l'écart par des siècles de colonisation au Canada. Our governments and our courts still have plenty of work ahead in weaving Indigenous tradition into the fabric of Canadian law. And we must, every day, recommit ourselves to that work. That's why our association is advancing the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action, particularly as they relate to promoting the recognition of Indigenous traditions in the legal system. We have also long championed the importance of a representative judiciary. We will continue to inform the process of selecting judges to sit on our courts so that they reflect Canadian society in all its diversity. Judges, lawyers, notaries bring their unique lived experiences, knowledge, and skills to the work that they do. Our legal system is stronger when we pursue and embrace a wide range of expertise and lived experiences from practitioners. Justice Obansawin, you have been an active member of the Canadian Bar Association for over 20 years, and you've made an enormous difference in our professional lives, in the professional lives of our members through your engagement and mentoring. I know that you will continue to inspire us and countless Canadians as you embark on this important new chapter of a most impressive career. Kamom Zimel, Wadzi, Migene Gaan, Kongsi, Kanadai, Pordewaz, Wanganek. Congratulations on your appointment to the Supreme Court of Canada. Au nom de l'Association du barreau canadien, je tiens à vous féliciter, Madame la juge Obansawin, et à vous offrir mes meilleurs vœux de réussite.
Merci, Maître Bugeaud. I will now ask the Treasurer of the Law Society of Ontario, Jacqueline Horvat, to say a few words.
Chief Justice, honorable justices, distinguished guests, the family of Justice Obansawin, and members of the public. It is my great pleasure and honor to join you today as the Treasurer of the Law Society of Ontario to welcome and congratulate the Honorable Michelle Obansawin as she takes up her position at the Supreme Court of Canada. C'est un plaisir pour moi de m'adresser à vous pour féliciter l'Honorable Michelle Obansawin au nom du barreau de l'Ontario. Justice Obansawin, you stand with us today representing many different and unique faces of the legal profession, of our communities, and most importantly, of the people we serve. Vous avez joué un rôle important auprès de la communauté juridique franco-ontarienne et vous êtes dévoué à faire entendre la voix des peuples autochtones. With a lauded career, you have already left a lasting mark on the legal landscape of the country as a lawyer, a skilled and respected practitioner, and as one of the first Indigenous justices in the Ontario Superior Court of Justice. We have heard and will hear from others today about your many professional accomplishments and long-standing commitment to enhancing access to justice. You are a respected author and an expert in legal issues related to mental health and the Gladue principles, and in labor and employment law, human rights law, and privacy law. You are also a distinguished academic, a talented researcher, and a leader. It would be easy to go on because your professional achievements and contributions are many. But you also stand before us as a parent, a caregiver, a community member. And as you take on this appointment, we are also reminded that you come to us as a Francophone, a woman, and an Indigenous person. It is the depth of these diverse lived experiences that makes your appointment so meaningful, and so meaningful to many. The spectrum of experience on the bench of our highest court is deeply important. Your lived experiences and exceptional contributions to the law will enhance the quality of justice, public confidence in the justice system, and help move us forward on the paths to truth and reconciliation, and access to justice. Access to justice is, after all, about building a people-centered justice system that breaks down barriers and is inclusive and reflective of all members of our society. With your appointment to the Supreme Court of Canada, you bring additional voice, perspective, and inspiration. And so we celebrate your appointment and the opportunities it represents to broaden and enrich our justice system. At the same time, we also recognize the weight that these responsibilities may impose, as you are and will be, consciously by some and unconsciously by others, held to a different and more challenging standard than those who came to this court before you. You are more than well equipped to meet these challenges. That is abundantly clear. But this responsibility does not rest solely on your shoulders alone. It is up to each of us to support and stand with you, to listen and learn, and to ensure that the diverse perspectives and rich stories of Indigenous peoples are woven into the fabric of our justice system and integrated into the cultures of our communities. It is the spirit of inclusivity that you bring to this role that is so important because it empowers and inspires others, including me, to celebrate our own personal real-world stories and uniqueness. Your story, your lived experience, is a powerful one. It shows the world in a different light, helps people visualize themselves within the story, builds connection and purpose, and creates the space for change. I look forward to seeing the diverse perspectives you encapsulate as you enrich the decision-making process as you take on this role. Madam Justice, on behalf of the Law Society of Ontario's 60,000 members, I thank you for your ongoing contributions and offer you the deepest of congratulations on your appointment. Thank you, Ulini, merci, miigwech.
Thank you, Ms. Orvat. I will now invite the President of the Federation of Law Societies of Canada, Ms. Jill Perry, to address the court.
Honourable Justices of the Supreme Court of Canada, distinguished guests, and of course, Madame la Juge Obansouin. On behalf of the Federation of Law Societies of Canada, which is the association of 14 law societies across Canada, I want to express heartfelt congratulations to you and to your family as you take on this new position and assume the duties of Supreme Court Justice of Canada. What a truly extraordinary appointment and what a truly extraordinary day for everyone. Nous célébrons aujourd'hui le parcours unique et inspirant de Madame la Juge Michelle Obansouin. Toutes les personnes qui prennent la parole aujourd'hui ont mentionné avec raison et continueront de mentionner l'importance historique de cette nomination. Mais c'est un point qui mérite d'être répété et d'être souligné. I'd like to highlight 4 reasons why today's appointment is such a cause for celebration. First, diversity matters. The work of this court in general and the administration of justice in general is enhanced when we have justices who truly reflect the Canadian population. We need people on this bench who can bring with them the broad range of Canadian backgrounds and experiences when ruling on matters of national concern. As has been noted, Madame Justice Obansouin, you are particularly well-suited to enhance this diversity, being an Abenaki woman from Odanak First Nation, being a Franco-Ontarian from a small rural area, and of course, no less importantly, being the proud mother of 2 sons. You will undoubtedly bring a fresh perspective to the many issues that come before this court. Des nouveaux points de vue au sein de nos plus grandes institutions, surtout les points de vue de ceux et celles qui n'ont pas toujours été entendus, sont essentiels à notre développement en tant que pays. C'est en faisant de la place aux nouveaux points de vue qu'on fait réellement évoluer un pays. La deuxième raison, qui a un lien avec la première, est l'importance particulièrement significative de la représentation des peuples autochtones. Yes, we are very proud of our legal system in Canada. We are the envy of the world, in fact, as we often remind ourselves. But we cannot deny that for too long, judicial decisions affecting the lives of Indigenous people have been made without Indigenous people being adequately represented amongst those with authority. We also cannot deny the role that legal institutions have had in the colonization of Indigenous people and the systemic racism that persists to this day in Canada. And so, reconciliation is one of the most significant challenges that we face today as Canadians in Canadian society. A critical step towards that reconciliation goal is ensuring that Indigenous people are represented and involved at the highest decision-making levels across all government branches, which of course includes the judiciary. La justice n'en exige pas moins. À cet égard, votre accession à cette cour, Madame la juge, est une pas cruciale sur un chemin beaucoup plus long que nous, les Canadiens, les Canadiennes en général, et particulièrement les membres de la profession juridique, doivent prendre pour nous assurer que les injustices du passé sont rectifiées. Mais il y a une autre raison, une troisième raison, pour laquelle nous célébrons aujourd'hui. C'est la revitalisation des traditions juridiques autochtones qui est essentielle à la réconciliation et à l'autonomie des peuples autochtones. The third cause for celebration I wish to highlight is vitally connected to the reconciliation challenge that I just mentioned. The Supreme Court of Canada has, in fact, as has already been mentioned today, played a key role in the revival of Indigenous legal traditions. In the landmark Chilcotin Nation decision, this court confirmed that Aboriginal title includes the right to decide how lands are to be used and managed, including through the exercise of Indigenous peoples' own laws. The decision confirmed that common law and Indigenous law perspectives, quote, bear equal weight in evaluating a claim for Aboriginal title. Now, this court will undoubtedly continue to address the significance of traditional Indigenous legal orders for years to come, especially now that Canada has legislated the implementation of its commitments under the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. It is heartening to know that we have a brilliant new justice who will be part of this work that is so central to the goal of reconciliation in Canada. There's a fourth and final cause for celebration I wish to mention, and that is that Justice Obansawin has traveled a unique path to this highest court, as has been elaborated by all of our speakers today. Her career has clearly been guided by a concern for humanity in general and a commitment to the area of mental health law in particular. In fact, one of Justice Obansawin's greatest contributions is her research on the use of Gladue principles in a forensic mental health system. Her expertise has also helped raise awareness about the importance of identifying mental health problems at the start of legal proceedings so that individuals can access the help they need. We know that we are in the middle of a mental health crisis in this country. Hardly a day goes by without hearing reports about the number of people suffering from mental health issues. We witness it daily in our communities, in our courts, on our streets, and in our personal lives. We know all too well the impact that this crisis poses as a challenge for our justice system. We also know that people who suffer from mental illness are dangerously exposed to cascading legal problems. And finally, we know that members of the legal profession, unfortunately, are far from immune and indeed may be particularly susceptible to mental health challenges. The results of a recently released national study of the well-being of legal professionals are disturbing, if not surprising. But Justice Obansawin's record of commitment to mental health issues will serve this court and, in turn, our country well in facing that challenge head-on. So these four causes for celebration that I've highlighted are, of course, just a sampling of all that Justice Obansawin has to offer to this court and to our country in her new role. En effet, son engagement de longue date en faveur de l'égalité, un engagement qu'elle poursuit avec courtoisie et compassion, permet aussi d'humaniser le droit et l'administration de la justice. Il ne fait pas de doute que votre vaste expérience Votre humanité et votre talent, Madame la juge, profiteront à cette cour. Madam Justice, on behalf of the Federation and of all of Canada's law societies, I wish you every success in this new phase of your extraordinary career. And to your family and your close ones who have joined you with you here today, you have every reason to be immensely proud. Merci. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perry. I now invite Mr. Peter Cryo-Rook, President of the Advocate Society, to address the court.
Chief Justice, Honorable Justices, Attorney General, Parliamentary Secretary, Treasurer and colleagues at the bar, and distinguished guests. Justice Obansoan, Paquid Nanguizian. Au nom de la Société des plaideurs et des avocats et avocates plaideurs à travers le Canada, je vous offre mes plus sincères félicitations à vous et votre famille pour votre nomination à la Cour suprême du Canada. We acknowledge and celebrate the historic nature of your appointment as the first Indigenous justice to be appointed to the Supreme Court of Canada. When Justice Bertha Wilson, the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court, was sworn in on March 30th, 1982, she observed that the day held for so many a sense of satisfaction in the evolution and fulfillment of a long-standing dream. Justice Obansoan, the same may be said today, 40 years later, of your appointment. The realization of this dream, held by so many within and outside the justice system, will no doubt instill greater belief and trust in this institution, to which we entrust the resolution of our most fundamental legal and constitutional disputes. Those who go first face challenges and shoulder burdens for those who come after. But you're no stranger to challenges, Justice Obansoan. As I reflect on your distinguished career, I'm struck by the fact that your life has been a series of remarkable firsts. These firsts include that you were the first member of your family to go to law school, culminating with your recent PhD in law. You were the first Indigenous woman to be appointed to the Ontario Superior Court of Justice in Ottawa. You were the first Abenaki judge appointed to a Canadian court. And now you are the first Indigenous person to be appointed to the highest court in our country, the Supreme Court of Canada. To achieve your childhood dream of becoming a lawyer and to achieve the impressive firsts that followed you, you overcame challenges and adversity because of your work ethic, your determination, and your refusal to be deterred. Although those who go first have to break down barriers, it is a position that advocates in particular come to cherish. Going first allows the advocate to shape the narrative before the court, to demonstrate command of the case, and to outline a path for the court to follow. Justice Obansoan, your career demonstrates that you too see the value in being first. As the first Indigenous jurist on this court, we have no doubt that you will help shape your narrative. You will demonstrate your command of the law, and you will outline a path for the court to follow in your many areas of expertise, including GLADU principles, mental health, Indigenous issues, employment and labor, as well as human rights and privacy law. Perhaps blazing these trails and dismantling these barriers was destiny for you, as your last name means pathfinder in Abenaki. A pathfinder is a person who goes ahead and discovers and shows others a way. You have clearly been a pathfinder, a role model, and a mentor for so many, both within and beyond the legal profession. With this appointment, we know that you will continue to carve a path for the many who will follow. We trust that the experiences and knowledge you have gathered as a Franco-Ontarian, fluent in French and in English, a First Nations woman studying your Abenaki language, a mother, a parent, a lawyer, a scholar, a professor, a trial judge, and a devoted community member
provide you with an understanding of the lived experiences of many Canadians. As the Supreme Court approaches its 150th anniversary in just a few short years, the Court now more than ever reflects the diversity of our Canadian society. A diverse, representative, and of course independent judiciary can only further strengthen the rule of law in our democracy. Justice Obansawin, once again, I extend to you my sincere congratulations and the best wishes of the Advocate Society as you embark upon this enormous privilege and responsibility that lies ahead. Thank you. Merci. Ulini.
Thank you very much, sir. Il est maintenant temps pour notre nouvelle collègue de nous dire quelques mots. Madame la juge Obansawin, la parole est à vous.
Merci. J'aimerais commencer par reconnaître que nous sommes sur un terrain non cédé de nos cousins des Abénaquis, les Algonquins et les Anishinabés. Nedeliwizi Miselis Obansawin, Nodzawi Odanak, Wabanakik Kalnoba, Taplawino Nia. Je me nomme Michel Obansawin et je suis membre de la Première Nation d'Odanak et je suis du clan de la Tortue. Bonjour, Monsieur le juge en chef, distingués membres de la magistrature, Maître Gary Anandasangari, secrétaire parlementaire du ministre de la Justice et procureur général du Canada, l'honorable Doug Downey, ministre de la Justice et procureur général de l'Ontario, Maître Steve Bugeaud, président de l'Association du barreau canadien, Maître Signa Dom-Shanks, représentante du Indigenous Bar Association, Maître Jacqueline Horvat, trésorière du barreau de l'Ontario, Maître Jill Perry, présidente de la Fédération des ordres professionnels des juristes du Canada, Maître Peter Krawarek, président du Advocate Society, Monsieur Daniel Nollet, directeur général de la Première Nation de Danak, ancien membre de la Cour, conjoints et conjointes, distingués invités, amis, mesdames et messieurs. C'est un grand honneur pour moi d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui. I dared to dream big, and through determination and also with the support of a dynamic group, I reached my goal of being a judge at the Supreme Court of Canada. My journey to this court has not been an easy one, but it has been meaningful and rewarding. I feel very fortunate that the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and the selection committee had faith in me. I replaced the irreplaceable Justice Michael Moldaver. He has been very kind to me since joining this court and has provided me with amazing advice. I'm very cognizant of the very big shoes that I have to fill. I joined a dynamic court where great jurists like Justice Bertha Wilson, Justice Claire Leroux-Dubé, Justice Beverly McLaughlin, and Justice Rosalie Abella have sat. These women inspired me to want to sit on the highest court of our land. I hope that my journey to this court will inspire young women to pursue their dreams. I am a big believer that if you have a goal, work hard, and never give up, you can make things happen and achieve those dreams. I love to meet youth, as you've heard. I often talk to them about my journey and of, at times, the mistakes that I've made. I've fallen down, I've made mistakes. However, mistakes have been my teachers, and I have learned from those mistakes. I have always gotten up and continued, at times with trepidation, but always moving forward. Our actions are reflections of ourselves. We must be proud of who we are and of our uniqueness. I have a lot of people to thank. I did not get to this court on my own. Many people supported, encouraged, and mentored me along the way. Je suis très reconnaissante de l'amour et du soutien de mes parents, Richard et Diane, et de ma petite mamère Jacqueline. Depuis un jeune âge, ils m'ont supportée. Comme une grande sportive, j'étais très fière que mes parents étaient toujours présents à mes innombrables jeux de ringuettes, basketball, softball et même des tournois de ping-pong. Ma grand-mère, Jacqueline, a eu une grande influence dans ma vie. Elle était une femme très contemporaine et m'a montré comment être une femme confiante et indépendante, sans compromettre mes valeurs. Ma mère est récemment décédée, mais je sais qu'elle est présente ici avec nous aujourd'hui. Je veux aussi remercier mes beaux-parents pour leur support. Fernand m'a toujours donné de bons conseils de vie, de carrière et de politique, et Ginette m'a donné des bons conseils de famille et comment être une bonne mère. Merci beaucoup, Fernand et Ginette. Je dois également reconnaître mes amis proches qui sont ici aujourd'hui. Julie, Pascal, Antoinette, Cotima et Nicolas. Elles m'ont constamment soutenue, même lorsque je leur parlais sans cesse de mes aspirations. Votre soutien m'a été inestimable. Je veux aussi reconnaître la présence de mon enseignante, Mme Claire Fournier. Elle était mon enseignante en 10e et 12e année qui m'a encouragée de poursuivre mes rêves en droit. Certains membres de la famille Obansuin ont voyagé de la région de Sudbury pour se rendre avec nous aujourd'hui et je suis très heureuse de leur présence ici aujourd'hui avec nous. La famille Obansuin m'a supportée tout au long de ma vie et sans vous, je ne serais pas la personne que je suis aujourd'hui. Un gros shout-out à tous vous autres. Malgré le fait que je suis un enfant unique, j'ai une grande sœur. Ma cousine Denise a toujours joué un rôle dans ma vie. J'ai aussi un frère, mon cousin André. Je vous aime tellement, vous deux. Je veux aussi remercier ma Première Nation de Danak et le chef régional Ghislain Picard pour leur appui. Je suis fière d'être une Abénakise de Danak. Votre support a été primordial à mon succès et à mon identité. Tracy Craig, when I was 2 years old and she was 3, I met my partner in crime. She has always been there to listen to me and provide me with her friendship and advice. Tracy, you are my sister from another mother, and your support through every stage of my life is greatly appreciated. During my professional career as counsel, I have had exceptional mentorship. Phil Dempsey, John Devine, and Barbara Walker-Renshaw. They taught me how to be meticulous, thoughtful, and a great litigator. You have all been great mentors and friends to me. As I have said in the past, I have stood on the shoulders of giants. The Honorable Marie Sinclair, Phil Fontaine, and Justice Harry Laflamme all provided me with very wise advice over the past few years. Thank you for your guidance and belief in me. It is truly appreciated. My first judicial mentor was Justice Chuck Hackland. Chuck, you're a great legal mind, and I greatly benefited from your mentorship. Thank you, Chuck. I was also very fortunate enough to rub shoulders with Justice Ronald Liberté and Justice Anne London Weinstein, who are criminal law rock stars. Ron actually is a rock star and plays a mean guitar. Despite her heavy workload, Anne always made time for me. Merci, Ron and Anne. I've been fortunate to work with a wonderful group of judges at the Superior Court of Justice, who all played a role in shaping my career. Callum, Julie, Marc, Tracy, Joanne, and Hélène. Je vous remercie du fond de mon cœur pour votre support et votre amitié. It is also very important for me to thank my PhD supervisor, Professor João Veloso. From the beginning of my PhD journey, he believed in me and my project. He stuck by me even when others were not as encouraging. Professor Veloso continually provided me with great advice and thoughtful feedback. João, I am extremely thankful. Merci pour ton support. I also want to thank Christine O'Doherty, Brad Morse, Scott Robertson, and Justice Georgina Jackson for their invaluable counsel and advice over the past few years. Your endless support contributed to my journey to this court, and I thank you all very much. De plus, je suis très reconnaissante de l'appui de mes nouveaux collègues. J'ai reçu un accueil très chaleureux. J'en ai déjà adopté quelques-uns comme des mentors. Je suis fière de faire partie de cette nouvelle petite famille. Je tiens à conclure mes remerciements avec les plus importants. Ceux pour ma petite famille, mon époux Pierre et mes fils Yannick et Tristan. J'ai rencontré Pierre la première journée de droit. Désolée, comme pour ceux qui ne savent pas, je suis une broyarde. J'étais sous son charme dès ce premier moment. Il a toujours été mon plus gros fan et ma plus grande force et fourni les meilleurs conseils tout au long de ma carrière. Lorsque j'étais découragée, Pierre m'a toujours dit que j'étais capable. Nous allons célébrer nos 25e anniversaire de mariage cet été. Notre plus beau succès est l'arrivée de nos fils Yannick et Tristan. Je veux qu'ils sachent que je suis fière d'être leur maman. J'ai toujours voulu démontrer à mes fils qu'il est possible d'atteindre la réussite au plus haut niveau. Je leur dis constamment, la persévérance est la clé du succès. Je crois qu'ils sont très tannés de m'entendre dire cette devise. Je vous aime beaucoup et je vous remercie tous pour votre support. I've not been able to recognize all of those who have had an impact on my life and my career. If I fail to mention them, please know that your support is not forgotten. But I have only a few minutes, and I have to tell you, I'm melting in my robe. Nadalamika negon sozak adodi milhidit wawan damwagan noli ni kawan mziwi awani no dawit. I'm grateful to my ancestors for giving me wisdom today. I thank everyone who took the time to listen to me. Je suis très reconnaissante de mes ancêtres de m'avoir donné la sagesse aujourd'hui. Je remercie tous ceux et celles qui ont pris le temps de m'écouter. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, Uliuni.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la juge Obansawin, pour ces propos. Je remercie également tous ceux et celles qui se sont joints à nous, soit en personne ici à la Cour, ou soit en ligne. La séance est maintenant levée. La Cour reprendra ses travaux demain matin, mardi, à 9h30. Merci. Bonne fin de journée.